Hiya, kiddos. Thanks for coming back to Grandpa Ken's reading room. Me and my buds here, we were getting a little worried you weren't coming back. Thank you, because it's really lonely in here. They don't talk as much as they should. You know what I mean? Hey, kiddos, today we're going to have some fun. See my hat? Does it look like a magician's hat? Huh? Have you ever seen a magician? Well, I hadn't this way until I read Porky Pig and Bugs Bunny, and the name of it is Just Like Magic. And I couldn't figure out what those two would have to do with magic, so I read it. And then when I did, guess what? I knew this was a good one for us. Here we go. You ready? Get comfy. Porky Pig looked worried. Bugs, we've been all over town, he said. We've got to find jobs because today is Petunia's birthday, and how will I be able to buy her a present? Oh, yeah, that does take some money, doesn't it, kiddos? Yeah, see him? Look at Bugs. He always seems to be relaxing, doesn't he? Yeah. Bugs scratched one long ear and pointed down the road. How about working at the country place over there? He suggested. Looks like it's got a terrific vegetable garden. See the lettuce, radishes, green beans, and whoa, carrots growing in the garden. Well, you know, that caught Bug's attention. Down the road they went, and Porky rang the doorbell. A tall, thin man opened the door. Good morning, sir. My name is Porky Pig, and this is my friend Bugs Bunny. We are two willing workers looking for a job. That's right, Doc, Bugs said eagerly. We figured this place could really stand a good cleaning up. Oh, goodness, I'm not sure that's the way you ought to approach it, Bugs. That's kind of rude. Huh? Don't you think? Tell the guy he needs to get his house cleaned up. The tall, thin man looked doubtful. Well, I could use some help, but he stopped short, then went on. Come on in. There's certainly plenty to do. And he brought out mops and brooms and dusters and pails, soaps and cleansers. My name is Mortimer, he said. I'll be back to check on you later. Porky started to dust all the furniture. Bugs was mopping slowly and dreamingly, as he always does, when he knocked over the pail and the water spilled all over the floor. With a sigh, Porky mopped up the spilled water. Why don't you dust, Bugs? Asked Porky. You can't get in as much trouble that way. Okay, I don't know. Bugs sure does seem to get in trouble no matter what he does. Bugs started to dust the table. Suddenly, there was a loud that table had collapsed to the floor. Bugs jumped back in alarm. Hey, what's up, Doc? He demanded. This is pretty spooky furniture Mortimer's got here. Porky just shook his head. Come on, Bugs. I'll put it together, he said. Nothing seems to be broken. You take the silver polish and work on shining up that suit of armor. You can't hurt that, I hope. Well, look at the big, like the knights used to wear. You're going to let Bugs shine it. As Bugs polished the armor, the visor fell down with a sudden clang. Bugs raised the visor and took a look inside. Look, Porky, he shouted as he brought out a large handkerchief from inside the helmet. He waved it at Porky, and the handkerchief turned into a bouquet of flowers. Then 4 pigeons flew out of the helmet, and one of them perched cheerily on the top of Bugs' head. Well, I'm starting to see where they say it's like magic. What do you think, kiddos? Then Bugs stretched out on the huge sofa. I don't know about you, Porky, but cleaning spooky magicians' houses wears me out. Are there any kinds of houses that don't tire you out, Bugs? Asked Porky. Just then, Mr. Mortimer entered the room. I doubt it, Porky, he commented. Just resting, eh, Bugs? He looked around. Well, you two have certainly worked hard. At least one of you has worked hard. And he's looking at Porky, see? He can tell. Mr. Mortimer hesitated. I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I don't have enough money to pay you for your work properly. Is there something I can do to reward you for all your hard work? Well, of all the nerve, and after I've worked till I'm exhausted, said Bugs. What did you have in mind? Asked Porky, after shushing Bugs, of course. Well, Mr. Mortimer said shyly, I'm Mortimer the Marvelous, and if I do say so, I'm terrific. May I put on a show for you? Porky was thrilled. That's a wonderful idea, Mr. Mortimer. I'll give an invite, friend, to Petunia as a special birthday treat. Oh, see, things work out just by doing what's right and working. Just a minute, said Bugs. None of that magician show stuff's for me. After all my hard work, I deserve a bushel of carrots, at least. I'm not sure you worked all that hard, Bugs, Mr. Mortimer said, kind of being scornful. But I'll make you a bargain. If you act as my special assistant during the magic show for Porky and Petunia, I'll give you your bushel of carrots. And that was how it happened. That later that evening, Mortimer, the Marvelous, reached into her hat and pulled out a surprise bunny. Porky and Petunia laughed and clapped. Ta-da! Mr. Mortimer helped Bugs climb into a large trunk, then closed the lid. What's up, Doc? Asked Bugs, and a moment later, he crashed through a trap door. Porky and Petunia clapped again as Mr. Mortimer opened the trunk and showed them it was empty. A moment later, Bugs came limping back into the room, and the magician told him to lie on the table. Rise, 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 he chanted, waving his hands. Suddenly, Bugs felt himself floating in the air, light as a feather. Check that out, kiddos. Would that be scary? All of a sudden, you're floating in the... No, help, shouted Bugs. Look, let me down, please let me down. Well, Mr. Mortimer just clapped his hands sharply, and Bugs fell to the floor with a delighted to be of help. Oh boy, murmured the magician. Later, Bugs, looking weary and sore, complained as he carried home the bushel of carrots he had earned. Boy, am I tired, he exclaimed. I haven't worked that hard in ages. That magician was really hard on me with all those tricks. I thought he was a very nice fellow, Porky said happily. And look at the wonderful present I have up my sleeve. He said it's for you, Petunia. What's he got? What's he got there, kiddos? Can you see it? Porky brought out a long, brightly colored scarf and handed it to Petunia. Happy birthday. Thank you, Porky, Petunia claimed. It's just beautiful. It will remind me of a wonderful evening I've had. And down the road they walked with Bugs Bunny, carrots disappearing one after another, just like magic. That was a fun book, don't you think, kiddos? Well, come on back every time you get, because I sure miss you when you're not here. Thank you, y'all. Love ya.